What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking about the auction house in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. And there's been a lot of talk about it, but I haven't really made a video on it, and I need to. I mean, this is getting worse and worse as days go on. Now, before I dive any further into it, if you're new to the channel and haven't yet, make sure you smash that subscribe button as we're on the road towards 110,000 subscribers. Now, when we talk about the auction house, there's multiple variables, okay? The first variable is people boosting in MyTEAM Unlimited. I mean, you look at 3 through 5 here. All of those guys are boosting in Unlimited. And you guys might be wondering, okay, TyDeBo, why is that big of a deal? What does that lead to? Well, it just leads to more MT out there in the world, right? If there's more MT out there in the world, then prices are gonna go up in the auction house. It also, I mean, a lot of what's going on in the auction house specifically, it's in relation to a lot of people not opening packs. I mean, let's just look at this, okay? I'm recording this on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, literally basically 2 days after Wilt Chamberlain got released. And in the auction house, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 Wilts in 4 hours. So basically, on average, 5 Wilts per hour. 2 days after the card got released. Now, is that a problem? Is it that big of a deal? Here's my opinion on it. I think it is a problem in MyTEAM because, look, I get a lot of people are not opening packs, but it might have a bigger reasoning behind just the pack odds being so bad. Now, I'm not saying for sure that pack odds are that bad, this and that. I think it's a combination of people not opening pack and pack odds being bad. But, I mean, even when you look at Damian Lillard, there's less Damian Lillards in the auction house than Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, the list goes on and on from all the cards that came out. I mean, Melo. Obviously, Melo is going to be a lot more common. But again, he's, I mean, not super common. And so that leads to prices being high. Now, that's just from this most recent week. If we go back to the Tuesday drop, in which who'd we see on Tuesday? Chris Bosh, I believe, is who we saw. Look at how many Chris Boshes there are up. Not very many. And that's kind of my whole point behind this thing is, look, I get it to an extent. Like, okay, I get that prices are high for good cards. They should be. But this is Hoff Rebound Chaser Bosh. That low-key would be a soup card to have. But what I'm saying is prices should not be this expensive. A guy like Andre Kirilenko should be 30,000 MT, and he is 70,000 MT. That's one of the main problems in MyTEAM. There's no reason a guy like Andre Kirilenko should be 70,000. It just doesn't make sense to me. Boncaro, for no money spent players, should be able to get him for cheap. And you can, but with that being said, if somebody really wanted to price fix Boncaro, they could. They'd just buy them all for 25, 30,000, price fix him to 50,000 if they really wanted to. It's all due to just the lack of total overall cards in the market and a lot of MT being out there. I feel like that the amount of MT out there kind of gets overshadowed by the lack of players there are. Now, I get I'm playing on Xbox and maybe there's more players in general on PlayStation, but the cards should not be that rare. I get Steph being rare. I get Dominic being rare. We could go back to last year. Until Super Packs came out, these early cards are rare. But I don't remember a time in which there's, been a Wilt Chamberlain that just most recently got released, in which there's 20 Wilts in the course of 4 hours. That to me is the bigger red flag when we're breaking these things down. Yes, there's way more MT out in the MyTEAM community than there's been before. I 100% get and agree with that. But the fact of the matter is, if I got a guy like Zion Williamson and I see, wow, there's 2 Zions up. For me, that's like, dang, that's an opportunity, right? So let's say there's not another Zion that gets posted for, a couple hours. I might put my Zion up because of the lack of players, the lack of Zions up, and make some MT. I did the same thing with Vince Carter, right? When the market was high and there weren't very many Vinces up, I put my Vince up. He sold for 350K. I might be able to buy him for less than that later on. And that's just kind of what I think is important to look at is, you know, if there are a bunch of a certain player up, you can buy him and maybe try to resell him later. But a guy like Jason Tatum, like 550,000 MT. To put this in perspective, okay, and I'm going to put this in perspective for you guys. This is why I'll never recommend buying packs in my team. Okay, this is why I'm going to never recommend it. Look at the price of VC, guys, okay? And let's just say that VC translates, I'm going to say it like this. Let's just say VC translates to MT. So let's say 450,000 VC translates to 450,000 MT. Now, it's probably not that good. You're probably not going to get that good of a return. But let's just say that. To buy Wilt Chamberlain, to buy Jason Tatum, just one sole player, you're looking at over $100. And that is just absolutely ridiculous for early on in my team. It just doesn't make sense to me. And that's kind of the red flag. I not necessarily red flag, but that's kind of what I'm drawing from all this is it's crazy. And I feel like when we get content, that's when players are most expensive. Like Ja on Friday was 500K. Chris Bosh on Friday was 500K. Like, and that's how it never used to be. It used to be on Friday is when, you know, maybe the market would crash. And that is no longer the case. So we'll kind of talk about a market video and when it does crash and, you know, those types of things at some point. But all in all, guys, the one thing I will say, I know you might want to use some of these pink diamonds and there's not that many good budget players out there. But right now, try to save your MT. Because once super packs come out, that's really when you're going to have some success. Because that's when, I hate to say it, but normally that's when the market in season 1 does just come down a little bit. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to crash, but it will, you know, just come down that little bit. So right now, it's easier than ever to make MT with the combination of no contracts being in the game. That, I guess, it has a little bit to do with why the market's so high in general. But with every game mode, there's so many different ways to make MT. One thing I will say, though, is that it's not easy to make 400,000 MT. It's not. And so that's the tough situation we're in right now in my team. The market is crazy. And for me, even on my road to 250K, where I've spent money on packs and stuff, I've got 1 million MT in Zion. But I don't, if I wanted to build the best squad in the game, I don't have enough MT even with my 1 million to do that. And that's the crazy part is with 1 million MT, I feel like personally, I should be able to go out and get Pink Diamond MJ. I should be able to go get Wilt Chamberlain. I should be able to go get, you know, the other top guys in the game. Blake Griffin if I wanted to, you know, guys like Jason Tatum if I wanted to. I should be able to get, you know, at least 3 or 4 of those guys with the amount of MT I have. And I can't. I probably couldn't even get both Wilt Chamberlain and Jason Tatum right now for the amount of MT I have. And to me personally, that is absolutely crazy. That is the insane part about where we are at right now in my team. So I don't know what 2K's got to do. I don't know if they've got to make pack odds better for a week or super pack odds really good. But we somehow have to get the market down. Maybe it's putting players on triple threat online boards, stuff like that. Because right now, the market is too high. I mean, that's as simple as I can say it. The auction house is too high in my opinion. And yes, it has somewhat to do with boosting in my team unlimited. I would be not doing you guys justice if I didn't, you know, mention that or say that. But that's not the only story here, guys. Yes, the amount of I'm going to say it, people that are farming MT on this, that's a big reason for it. But that's not the only reason. I just feel like that combined with the pack sales, it's the reason we're paying 900K for a guy like Wilt Chamberlain. It is what it is, but hey, it's going to be a long, long year if we see guys like Jason Tatum going for 1.4 million MT and we're, 3 weeks into the game? Hey, man, it is what it is. And again, I get where DBG's like point of view is coming in as far as, you know, okay, well, at least give us budget options to counter these, right? Which Robert Ory is a great option. Honestly, the Amy Wilt is fine. We got some options. We just don't got a lot of options because a guy like Marcus Smart is 20-some K. That's where I get where DBG is like, yes, we need some of these cards that we can get for cheaper than that and that we can go out there and kind of at least play on a similar playing field. Now, I get it. You know, you spend more money, you're obviously going to have a better team. I get where 2K is coming from that. But at some point, you should be able to at least even it out at least a little bit better than you can right now. I need your guys' thoughts on the auction house. because I don't remember ever, you know, it's not so bad at the time I'm recording this video, but like on a Friday, I don't ever remember a Jason Tatum type player from 2 Fridays ago going for like 700, 800K, which he was on Friday. I don't remember, like, you know, MJ always is expensive, but like a Chris Bosh going for 500K on repeat. Like, the market is just crazy. I mean, pink diamonds, are there any right now for a buyout? No. And that's crazy because Dominic Wilkins definitely should be a buyout. So I don't know when the market's going to settle down. Hopefully sooner rather than later. But I mean, 2K's got to do their part in this as well. But that's going to wrap it up for my video today, guys. Hopefully each and every you guys did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you are doing it. As always, man, I love you guys. And have a blessed day.